I'll tell you what, out of all the prompts, this is probably going to be my favorite. So for the niche, we're going to say high-end coffee. Okay, so it's finished the output, and it's actually quite interesting, actually. Imagine having a personal AI assistant that could predict market trends, outsmart your competition, and generate content faster than ever before. Welcome to the Ecom Corner, where we're going to dive deep into X.AI's new language model, which is Grok 2. I'm going to show you what all the noise is about, and I'm also going to show you how it's going to revolutionize e-commerce in 2024. Hi guys, I'm Des, and in my 10 years of scaling e-commerce businesses, I've never seen something so game-changing as Grok 2. Buckle up, because I'm about to walk you through 5 mind-blowing ways Grok 2 is flipping the script on e-commerce. And trust me on this, your competition is definitely not going to see this coming. From real-time market analysis to AI-powered content creation, we're covering it all. So if you're ready to take your e-commerce game to the next level, hit the like button and let's dive in. So welcome to Grok 2. Now, if you're familiar with using Grok, it's exactly the same as it was before. You basically access it via x.com, which is obviously the old Twitter. And all you need to do is just need to navigate to this link here that says Grok. Now, you've got 2 modes. Actually, before we get into that, let me just go through the beta release. So basically what they're saying on their website, Grok 2 is our frontier language model with state-of-the-art reasoning and capabilities. The release includes 2 members of the Grok family. So that's Grok 2 and Grok 2 Mini. Both models are now being released to Grok users on the X platform. All right, so that's basically what we're talking about. It works in the same way as any other LLM, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude. You basically put in your prompt in here, and it basically starts executing whatever you've asked it to do. Now, it said in the press release that there are actually 2 models. It says there's a Grok 2 and a Grok 2 Mini. As you can see here, though, we've only got access to the Grok 2 Mini, and that's obviously in beta. You've got 2 options, though, on the Mini. You've got a fun mode, which basically just gives you fun outputs, fun responses, or you've just got normal mode, which is basically the one we're going to be using in this video. So the first one we're going to look at is the real-time market insights. Now, don't forget, I believe Claude, their model is up until April, I think it's 2024, and I can't remember what ChatGPT's is, but I do know that they're limited. Whereas the reason why this is a game changer is because Grok 2 basically has access to real-time data that's going on within X. It hasn't got real-time data what's going on in the world outside of X, but it has got real-time data what's going on within X. And that's what makes it a little bit more powerful than a ChatGPT or Claude, for example. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our first prompt, and the first one we're going to look at is real-time market insights. And I've obviously got the prompt here, so we're just going to copy this and then paste it into Grok. Again, if you want to try this out, you can either try it on fun mode or turn fun mode off. I'm going to switch mine off for now. So what we're going to do is this prompt is basically analyzing the latest trends on X related to your product category. So whatever your niche is, you basically fill in the actual placeholder here. It says focus on trends in specific regions of the business, provide a summary of the 5 trending topics, including popular hashtags associated with each trend, key influences discussing these trends, overall sentiment, positive, negative, neutral, with a percentage of breakdowns. So I'm not going to go through the prompt here, but what I will say is it's basically a market analysis one. So it's going to look all on the whole platform of X to find any data related to kids' sustainable fashion. And then obviously this is the prompt here. Like I said, I'm not going to read through it all. The very first few bits we're going to look for is focus on trends, find trending hashtags, key influencers discussing these trends, and overall sentiment. So if we click on return, what basically Grok's going to do now is it's going to search the whole of X specifically for our niche, which is kids' sustainable fashion. The great thing about this prompt is it doesn't really matter what niche you're in. All you need to do is fill in the placeholder at the very top of the prompt, and it will go away and it'll find all the key trends happening on X within your niche. Okay, so that's finished there. So let's have a look what we've got. So we've got top 5 trending topics on X for kids' sustainable fashion. We've got sustainable materials in kids' fashion, gives you the hashtags, also gives you the influencers talking about kids' sustainable fashion. So this is a great one if you want to hook up with these guys and maybe do some sort of a joint venture maybe, or get them to promote your products. You don't have to do this, but it's just, again, something that you might want to do. gives you a sentiment score, and it also gives you engagement rate. So high with posts often receiving likes, comments, and shares due to the appeal of eco-friendly materials. Emerging trend is the use of scrap, dead stock fabric for new clothing items, highlighted by Maya Higa's post. The next trend is circular fashion models for kids. Next one is avoiding brand clothing. So avoiding branded clothing. Okay, that makes sense. Again, it's giving you the hashtags, the influencers talking about it, and it gives you the engagement rate. So it's mixed, but growing as awareness of the ethical consumption increases. So I can't speak today. As awareness of ethical consumption increases. The next trend is eco-friendly packaging. And then the last one is gender neutral fashion. All right. So we've put in our prompt, which is just kids sustainable fashion, and it's brought in these top 5 trending topics. All right. And depending when you run this, it's going to be different for different times. The next thing it's looking at is emerging trends. So customizable clothing, allowing parents to design or add elements of clothing. And then you've got DIY repair kits there as well. So these are emerging trends. All right. And again, if I had the time, I'll choose another niche, but I'm going to leave the prompt, this particular prompt, I'm going to leave it in the description so you can actually have a play with it yourself. Product ideas or marketing angles. So we're talking about sustainable subscription boxes for children's clothing, eco-friendly DIY fashion kits, and then again, gender neutral clothing line with sustainable materials. The next one it's going to look at is potential risks and challenges. So there's a trend decline. So the sustainability trend might peak, leading to a decline in interest. Regulatory new laws could affect what materials are considered sustainable or how products can be marketed. And then competitive landscape, high entry of new brands could oversaturate the market, reducing individual brand impact. This is for sustainable kids fashion, but it could be anything. It could be whatever niche you want to try. I recommend actually trying the prompt out for yourself. It also gives you limitations and additional data sources as well. And at the very, very bottom, what's really great about Grok, it gives you all of the people talking about, or some of the people talking about kids sustainable fashion. So again, you can hook up with these guys, start following them and start engaging with them, which would be really great for your brand. Obviously, just give your brand a bit more exposure. So the next one we're going to look at is the competitor analysis. I'm just going to grab this prompt and then again, paste it into Grok. And this one basically analyzes the X profiles and recent posts from the past 3 months of my top 3 competitors. And again, these are the placeholders, and this is where you're going to fill in your top 3 competitors. It says use only public available data in your analysis for each competitor, provide their average engagement rate on posts, top 5 most used hashtags, types of content that performs really well. Again, it's just an analysis of your competitors on X. Obviously, if you don't have a lot of competitors on X, then there's no point running this prompt. But if you have, you're going to find this data really, really interesting. So for this particular prompt, we're going to use the pet niche, and we're going to assume that I've got a pet Ecom store or retailer that has several stores. So I'm going to put in the Pets at Home, Pet Shet, and Zoo Plus, which would be my top 3 competitors. And then let's run the prompt. Okay, so this one here, it found data on Pets at Home, but not a lot on Pet Shet or Zoo Plus. So the Pets at Home, it just basically says their posts show a customer service approach, focus on resolving issues and providing advice. It's saying that given the lack of data, we can't really give you that much data on the other 2. Pets at Home, their engagement seems to spike when they're solving problems or launching new products. If we're going by their posts, their engagement might not be about the love for pets, but the love for the customer service. So they're using X more for customer service than they are for like just mainly promotion. Got your top hashtags here. Obviously, you wouldn't use Pets at Home, but pet care, dog lovers, cat lovers, pet health. Those are the trending hashtags from Pets at Home. It's making an assumption here about Pet Shet and Zoo Plus. Saying it's talking about product launches and promotions. They mention discontinuation of products, which might not be a launch, but certainly a strategic move. From their post, there's a mix of gratitude for help, frustration over issues, let's say 60% positive for help and 40% negative for their issues. And again, it just gives you the frequency. They're active, responding quickly, suggesting them on top of things during business hours. So they use X as more for customer service, like I just said. So let's try the next one. Next one's going to be content creation. Again, I'm going to grab this prompt and I'm going to paste in the prompt here. Okay, so we've got our prompt here and I've filled in the placeholders. So the niche we're going to choose is scented candles. Again, it's going to look for the current trends and it's going to try and give us a few content posts. Now, what I will say is because we're using Grok 2 Mini, I'm not expecting the output to be that great. I'm not going to lie to you on that. But what I will say is it will try to give you as a comprehensive output as possible, but it's not going to be as good as the normal Grok 2. Let's run this prompt. And the whole idea of this prompt is basically just to give you some ideas on the sort of content that you can actually post on social media. Okay, so the prompt is now giving us an output. So what I got the prompt to do, and again, you can change this and edit it as much as you like. You can have as many tweets as you like, maybe 10 or 15. So basically the output is giving us engaging X tweet ideas for scented candles. And as you can see, ever wondered what your favorite candle scent says about you? Take our quiz and find out. And obviously it's giving you hashtags. And it also gives you advice on actually repurposing that tweet as well. So turn the quiz into a blog post or an Instagram story series where followers can swipe through different scents and their meanings. I'm not going to go through all of the tweets, but these are all ideas and it gives you ideas on how to repurpose those as well. Gives you product description templates. I probably wouldn't keep that in, but I just wanted to see the power of what Grok is actually doing is it's looking all the way through X to find out similar companies that are posting things about scented candles. And what it's doing then is it's devising a product description, like a generic one. Again, I probably wouldn't keep this in, but it was just interesting to see what it came up with. So it's given us 3 templates there. It's given us a catchy holiday sales slogan. Again, what it's done is it's gone all the way through X and it's kind of looked at what everyone else is doing, and then it's brought all that information back and it's provided within this output. And then we've got the blog post titles and outlines. Again, I probably wouldn't use this, but I just wanted to see the power of it. And it's actually come up with some actual decent blog post titles. So we've got the ultimate guide to choosing the perfect scented candle for your home. And then the second one is DIY candle making. Turn your favorite scent into a candle. So they're actually not bad blog posts. And obviously, like any other LLM, you can ask for more. So if you wanted more blog post titles, you just basically put where it says ask anything, please provide me another 10 more blog post titles, and it'll do exactly the same as ChatGPT or Claude, for example. It's giving you all what they class as the trending hashtags or hashtags what other stores are using. It's giving you a content strategy here. Not too sure where that's actually come from. Not too sure whether it's actually looking for other e-commerce stores or anyone else that's posting about scented candles. But it's given us posting times of between 8 a.m., 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. Again, you'd have to check the accuracy on that. I'm not 100% sure that this is correct, but this is what Grok is telling us. Giving us ideas on what time to actually post our content. It shows you how to repurpose them. So convert X posts into IG stories, which you probably do anyway. And then Instagram, TikTok adaptation, use visually appealing content like candle burning time lapses. Again, just giving you some ideas. And obviously, depending on what your niche is, the information here, the output will be different. Originality checks, use Copyscape. And then it's given us a content scheduling calendar as well. So week 1, launch a new candle. Week 2, engage with the quiz. Week 3, feature customer stories or reviews. And week 4, holiday sale announcement. And I can tell you now that ChatGPT and Claude would have probably written something similar. This information that you see here isn't actually probably based on what's going on at X at the moment, but it's still nice to have this sort of information. And then it's just, again, tracking the performance metrics, track engagement rates like click-through rates from X to your website, conversion rates, etc., etc. These are the people that are actually posting about scented candles. And again, you can follow these people, put them in within an X list, and then literally just follow their tweets and just see what is actually trending at the moment and the sort of things they're actually talking about. So let's get on to the next one, which is brand monitoring and customer service. So I'm going to copy this prompt. And again, I'm going to give you all these prompts, so don't worry, you don't need to copy this down. In the description of this video, I'll supply all the prompts that we've got here. So for this now, we're just going to put in a brand name. So let's just put in Next, which is a fashion retailer here in the UK. Click on enter and let's see what it brings us. Okay, it's not giving us anything about Next the retailer. It's giving us something about next.js, which is not what we want. So we're going to stop that, go back, and then put in Next the retailer. Okay, so it seems like the prompt is finished. Don't forget, this is monitoring mentions of the brand. So obviously you'd put in your brand here, or if you wanted to spy on your competition, you put your competition's name here. And what this prompt does, it basically asks Grok 2 to go out online, what Grok 2 does, it basically goes within X and it finds your competition, or it finds your brand, and it gives you the output. So the output is basically overall sentiment is 45% positive, 35% neutral, and 20% negative. Most common topics are product quality, customer service, and shipping, just like most retail stores and most e-com stores, really. You had some notable praise. So users often commend the innovative use of technology in customer service, like AI for efficiency. Positive remarks. Notable complaints are shipping delays and some dissatisfaction with customer service response times for complex issues. Gives you some potential PR risks, opportunities, geographical distribution, so predominantly English speaking, and emerging patterns as well. This one's probably quite good. So increasing demand for personalized shopping experiences, which could be leveraged for future marketing strategies. Gives you some template responses. Again, I probably wouldn't keep this in within the prompt. You'd probably want to do a specific prompt on something like ChatGPT or Claude, but I just wanted to see what Grok 2 could do given the prompt. And again, it's just giving you things you can say for general comments, complaints, and inquiries. And it just gives you certain things you can say, like templates. You've got proactive post suggestions. So we've heard your concerns about shipping delays. Again, another little template. This is basically giving you some recommendations on customer service strategy if you're going to use X for customer service. And again, it's giving you the tiers here as well, and if you wanted to escalate things. The last one on the list is continuous monitoring systems. So use AI tools to analyze X posts daily, weekly reports, generate reports on key metrics like sentiment shifts, common complaints, and positive feedback. And then it's basically just saying incorporate findings into product development. And if we scroll along here, these probably, some of these are relevant and some of these aren't. So this one here is relevant. That's just an article from the looks of it. Next gen in retail, another article from the looks of it. Yeah, so there's a few here. I don't know how relevant these ones are going to be, but depending on your brand or the brand that you've actually placed in there to do some analysis on, you'll probably get some relevant posts here of people posting content about your brand. So the last one we're going to look at is bite-sized prompts for trend prediction and market analysis. Now, this particular prompt, I originally had it as one large prompt, but what I've had to do is I've had to break it down into bite-sized prompts, because I think with Grok 2 Mini, the actual token limit, the amount that you can actually place as an input within Grok isn't that large. So I had to break these down into bite-sized pieces. So I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm going to give you a link to these prompts. But I'm just going to try a couple of these and then just give you an idea of what Grok can do. So in this particular one, we're talking about industry trend prediction. So based on current X discussions and historical data in your industry, it's going to identify top 3 predicted trends for the next 6 to 12 months. And it's going to provide some extra details as well. So if we just put in there men's fashion. So what it's going to do, like it has done with all the other prompts of the previous 4 that we did, is it's going to look on X for fashion trends, for men's fashion. I'll tell you what, out of all the prompts, this is probably going to be my favorite. So what it's given us trend number 1, the renaissance of classic menswear with a twist. Expect a revival of classic menswear elements like suits, but with a modern twist like high-rise trousers, tailored yet relaxed fits, and then perhaps even a nod to the 90s. That's pretty great data, actually. In fact, that's really good. Key indicators: X posts highlight a move towards more classic cuts in suits. Potential impact and confidence level. So the next trend is number 2, which is utilitarian chic. workwear inspired fashion, but with a high fashion twist like utility vests, cargo pants, and luxury fabrics. So trend number 3 is the micro trends of accessories. So a focus on smaller, more personal fashion statements like brooches, unique belts, or even tiny watches. Again, this is all news to me. As you can see, I'm up on my fashion, not. And yeah, so this is information that if you're in the men's fashion industry, you probably may know this already, but if you didn't, you're going to find this data valuable. And the great thing about this type of prompt is no matter when you run it, so whether you run it today or you run it in 3 or 4 months time, the information that you see here is going to be different. So it's going to let you know what the trends are happening on X at the moment. And again, there's just people talking about men's fashion. You can follow these or put them on the list and follow them, just to see what's trending at the moment. We're going to try a second prompt, which is target audience analysis. So what does this prompt do? This prompt identifies 2 potential target audience segments we should consider. For each segment, describe the demographics, age, income level, main interest points, and pain points. So you've probably got this data already, to be fair, but it's going to be interesting to see what Grok comes up with. So for the niche, we're going to say high-end coffee. Okay, so it's finished the output, and it's actually quite interesting, actually. We've asked for 2 potential target audiences. And like I said, if it's your business, you probably know all this data already, but this is actually quite interesting. So for high-end coffee, it's given us a demographic of 25 to 40-year-olds, urban areas, that's not surprising, and creative industries like San Francisco, New York, and London, upper middle to high income, often with disposable income for luxury or artisanal products. It gives you your pain points there and patterns on X. So they follow tech, finance, health, and lifestyle. And then marketing or product appeal, introduce a subscription service for coffee beans that are ethically sourced with the options for customization. Again, quite good data. And obviously we've answered 2 of those. So the second one is affluent retirees. Didn't know that. So affluent retirees over 60, suburban or retirement communities, often in warmer climates like Florida or Arizona. Again, if it's high-end coffee, it's going to be high income. Main interests are travel, gardening, health, and cultural activities. Gives you the pain points here, health issues, loneliness. So when you're talking to them, when you're running your ads, when you're writing your content, it's actually good to actually know these health points, because you can kind of weave this in within the content. Gives you their patterns on X. They might not be as active as the younger users, but engage with content about travel, health tips, etc. That's quite obvious, really. Market or product appeal, offer a line of specialty coffees that come with stories or themes related to travel or historical periods. Okay. Marketing, use X to create a community feel by sharing stories of other retirees' experiences with your coffee. And again, it's just giving you a little summary there and a few people posting about great coffee. I'm not going to do SWOT analysis. I don't think the model is going to be quite powerful enough for that or relevant. This one's going to be interesting. Market opportunities. Let's try this one. Again, we're going to start a new thread. So come back out using this back button, then paste in here. And what industry should we choose for market opportunities? Let's have a think. Okay, so for the industry, we're going to probably choose something like home Wi-Fi cameras. And again, like the other prompts, what's going to happen is it's going to go away. It's going to have a look on X to see what companies are actually posting about home Wi-Fi cameras, or even customers, see what they're posting. And it's going to basically look for some opportunities if you've got a retail store or if you've got an e-commerce store that sells home Wi-Fi cameras. I've actually just noticed as well, this is actually put on fun mode. So it's giving us this, I didn't want it on fun mode. So we're going to swap that out. So let's change this over. Let's come out of this. Put in our prompt again, and then switch off fun mode. I don't know why it went over to fun mode, because I didn't actually choose that, so it's a bit strange. Again, we're going to choose home Wi-Fi cameras, and then let's run the prompt. So the prompt is finished, and it's going to give us 2 untapped markets. So the first one is integration with smart home ecosystems for enhanced security and convenience, and it gives you some blurb just there. Again, if you're in this industry, you probably know the vast majority of this, all right? We'd probably, I mean, the prompt's quite small anyway, because I've had to do it quite bite-sized. But if you wanted to go into even greater detail, we would probably enlarge this prompt. But I just wanted to see what Grok 2 could do. And it's given us a second niche of specialist cameras for specific demographic needs, elderly care, pet monitoring. Again, home Wi-Fi, that's a given, really, to be honest with you. I do like that it's giving you customer need, potential market size. It gives you, I don't know where it's actually getting that data from. That's quite interesting. I'm not too sure where it would have got that from. It must have been from its own database, because I don't think people are going to be posting about that on X. Excuse me. Capitalization strategy. Develop cameras with AI to recognize specific activities. Yeah, to be honest, they're all going that way anyway. And then it gives you some blurb on some regulatory. And it's giving you some blurb on some economic factors as well. Gives you a nice little summary here, and then people that are actually posting about home Wi-Fi cameras. So there are other prompts here that I haven't gone through, which you can try. I'm going to give you access to all of these in the description. Try these out and let me know how you get on it in the comments below. But you really need to try Grok. I've just given it some basic prompts because we're using Mini. There was no, if I'm being honest, let me just put my face on screen here. If I'm being honest, there's no point in giving it such a large prompt, because I tried this earlier. And what I was finding is it wasn't actually giving the right output, or it just wasn't doing anything at all. So for the last bit of prompts, I had to make them bite size so everything could fit in. So with any luck, Grok 2, the actual main version of Grok 2 should actually come out within a few weeks, and I'll make another video, and hopefully this time around we'll be using the full prompts, not these bite-sized ones, and it should actually get us a better output than what we got here today. But what I will say is, please try Grok 2. It's an absolute game changer. At the moment, I think you can get it for $8 or £8 or €8 or wherever you are at the moment. Try it out. It's on a subscription basis, so you don't have to have it for a whole year or anything. But what I would say is, because it's got, let me just go back to my screen, because it's got information, and it's got up-to-date information of everything that's going on X at the moment, it makes this LLM a lot more powerful than ChatGPT or even Claude. And it's also giving you the benchmarks here as well of how good it is. On the overall scores, you can see that it actually scores quite well. It's coming in 4th here, all right? So it's actually quite a powerful model. So I've only been able to test the Grok 2 Mini. I wasn't able to test the full version of it. So if you found this video helpful, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.